This is WENY News.
Thanks for clicking on the webcast. I'm Leanne DeRosa. Here's the latest from WENY News and the Star-Gazette. After months without a representative, Corning's City Council's 2nd Ward seat has finally been filled. With a vote of 5-3, Republican Michelle Beckman was chosen to fill the seat. This comes after 2 different ties, one in the November election, one in the January council meeting between Beckman and Democrat Kate Patterson. Despite an urge for a special election, Mayor Rich Negri emphasized the city's charter requires an appointment in the event of a tie. Both candidates reacted strongly to the final decision.
I am grateful that the 2nd Ward seat has been filled and that it won't be a vacancy. Even with a special election, it's still not determining exactly how long it would remain a vacancy, so it's nice that the folks will have representation.
Okay, I'm disappointed. Of course, I was hoping that the special election would be called for, that the voters of the 2nd Ward would get an opportunity to be heard sooner than November, but that's not the way it went.
Both Beckman and Patterson say they plan to run for the 2nd Ward seat during the election in November. We're expecting to get a better idea of how Pennsylvania Governor Tom Wolf plans to pay for this year's proposals. He'll release his $32 billion budget plan today. The governor's office says Wolf will propose more than $2 billion in cuts and savings to wipe out the deficit, all without needing a major tax increase or cutting aid to schools or social services. Wolf is also expected to ask lawmakers to impose a Marcellus Shale natural gas extraction tax and to restructure the corporate net income tax. Community members concerned about possibly losing their health care coverage will gather in Corning today. The Citizens for a Better Southern Tier organization is holding a rally outside of Congressman Tom Reed's office. They want to remind him that 76,000 people in his congressional district here in New York rely on health care through New York's exchange or the Medicaid expansion. The rally starts at 4:30 this afternoon. And Evangers is recalling some 12-ounce cans of hunk of beef dog food after finding sedatives in some cans. The cans were sold in 15 states, including New York and Pennsylvania. They have expiration dates of June 2020, and we'll list the specific UPC codes on our website for you. The sedatives could cause drowsiness, dizziness, excitement, nausea, and even death. Now let's send it over to Craig Flint for a look at today's forecast. Good morning, Craig.
Wow, talk about holding on tight and from death to weather.
Oh, I know, bad transition.
All right, hey, this morning we do have a little bit of freezing rain moving through. And temperatures borderline, depending on where you are, your exact temperature, your location, will determine whether or not we're talking freezing rain versus rain. But the bottom line is by mid to late morning, everyone's changing over to periods of a cold, raw rain. 50 degrees, that number is probably 9, 10, 11 o'clock. So by this evening, we'll get to 50. During the day, it's kind of clammy and in the 40s with periods of cold rain. Temperatures continue to go up overnight, rising into the 50s. Wind and mild with occasional rain. Southwesterly breeze at about 15 miles per hour. Winter weather advisories continue. Areas to the east, the Poconos into the Catskills. By the way, this here's a freezing rain advisory. And even here locally, there's pockets of freezing rain that will move through. Again, it's going to come down to the exact temperature at your location. But notice by the afternoon, everyone's safely above 32 and into the 40s and lower 50s. But again, note these numbers not occurring until this evening with periods of rain moving through. A little bit of a touch of light freezing rain first thing this morning, and then periods of cold rain. Most of the time, it's in the 40s, eventually getting to 50 or better by 8, 9, 10, 11 o'clock. Same deal over the Finger Lakes. Pockets of freezing rain this morning, transitioning to a cold rain. Most of the day in the 40s, eventually getting to 50. So here's a look at the last 6 hours of satellite radar data. And again, kind of tough to see, but you can just barely make out a little bit of pink there on satellite radar. That's your freezing rain. South and west, that's where it is well above freezing, with a pretty decent slug of rain that will lift north. And again, during the day, it's periods of on and off rain, and temperatures in the 40s with a breeze, so kind of a raw feeling day. 50 degrees eventually, but again, that's not till like 8, 9, 10 o'clock this evening. And then into the 50s overnight, falling back into the 40s by sunrise with a scattered rain or wet snow shower passing through on Wednesday. A strong west wind on Wednesday. Temperatures fall through the day, so 40s will finish the day in the 30s though. Thursday, what gives? Well, there's a new system. The computer models are trying to develop an area of low pressure along the coast. Actually, along the front that comes through on Wednesday, there's going to be a low pressure that kind of berths along that front. Here's the deal. The computer models do not agree on the exact track or intensity of the low for Thursday. So one of the computer models I look at says, not going to happen. The other one, which happened to be right the last time, gives us accumulating snow. So there will be snow around on Thursday, but I'm going to bias and favor areas south and east of Chemung County for the steadiest, heaviest snow on Thursday. Either way, it's breezy and much colder with highs only in the 20s on Thursday. Then some new light snow late Friday, a high of 27. And then it's kind of an inconsequential rain or wet snow shower around over the weekend with highs in the 40s, Leanne.
All righty, we'll keep an eye on that as we get closer. Thanks, Greg. For the latest news, weather, and sports, be sure to watch WENY News at noon, 5:30, 6, and 11. And don't forget to pick up a copy of today's Star Gazette. I'm Leandra Rosa. Have a great day, everyone.